Some footballers made history with their goals, others made headlines with their crimes. From shocking arrests to jaw dropping scandals, stay till the end for the most insane case of them all. You won't believe how many football legends swapped stadium for courtrooms. Some paid fines, some did hard time, and some, well, they ruined their careers for good.
Ronaldinho.
A magician on the pitch, but off it, he served 5 months for forging a passport. Patrick Kluivert. The Dutch legend had his moment of shame when he was sentenced to 240 hours of community service for reckless driving. Jan Molby, a midfield maestro, but his driving skills landed him in jail for 3 months for reckless driving. Tony Adams, a football icon turned inmate. He served 4 months behind the bar after over-drinking and crashing his car. Jermaine Pennant. The speedster couldn't outturn the law, serving 90 days for drunk driving. George Best. A legend on the pitch, but off it? He was sentenced to 12 weeks for drunk driving and assaulting a police officer. Ian Wright. Arsenal hero faced 32 days in jail, not for football crimes but for failing to pay his taxes. Fabio Cannavaro. Even a World Cup winning captain couldn't escape the law. He was sentenced to 10 months for tax evasion. Michel Platini. A footballing genius, yet he was caught in a scandal, receiving 20 months for corruption suspicions. Serge Aurier. A tough defender on the pitch and in court, he was sentenced to 2 months for assaulting a police officer. Eric Cantona. Known for his fiery temper, he was sentenced to 14 days for assaulting a man. Harry Maguire. The Manchester United captain was found guilty of assault and bribery, receiving 21 months. Troy Deeney. From football fields to prison walls, he served 10 months for assault. Alexander Kokorin. A brutal attack landed him 18 months behind bars. Evil Mamaev. Just like his teammate Kokorin, he too was sentenced to 18 months for violent attack. Joey Barton. Known for his aggressive nature, Barton was handed 10 months for violent charges. Jerome Boateng. A former Bayern Munich star but a convict too, 2 months for assaulting his ex-girlfriend. Lucas Hernandez. Defying a restraining order cost him 6 months behind bars. Quincy Promes. The Dutch winger faced 1 week in prison for attempted manslaughter. Duncan Ferguson. This Premier League enforcer got 3 months for assault. Breno. The Brazilian defender took things to an extreme. He served 3.8 years for burning down his own luxury home. Edmundo. The former star was sentenced to 4.5 years for a fatal traffic accident. Lee Hughes. His reckless driving led to tragedy, costing him 6 years in jail. Marcos Alonso. A rising star turned convict. He got 21 months for car crash that killed his passenger. Marlon King. His football career was overshadowed by a sexual assault conviction, landing him 18 months in jail. Benjamin Mendy. A shocking case. He was sentenced to 5 to 20 years for rape and sexual assault. Mason Greenwood. Once a rising star, now sentenced for attempted rape and sexual assault. Robinho. From Champions League glory to 9 years in jail for group sexual violence. Dani Alves. The Brazilian legend was sentenced to 4.5 years for sexual assault. Adam Johnson. A disgraceful case. He was handed 6 years for grooming and sexual activity. Gylfi Sigurdsson, the former Everton midfielder, was investigated for child sex offences. Ruben Semedo, a promising career, was derailed by crime. He served 2 years for kidnapping, wounding, and robbery. Rennie Higuita, the famous scorpion kick goalkeeper, landed in jail for 7 months for being involved in kidnapping. Bruno, a dark twist in football history, sentenced to 22 years for murder, kidnapping, and conspiracy. Gavin Grant, once a footballer, now a prisoner, 25 years for murder. Karim Benzema, his scandal rocked the football world, 1 year for attempted blackmail over a sex tape. Uli Hoeneß, a Bayern Munich icon who fell from grace, 42 months for tax evasion. Cristiano Ronaldo, even the biggest stars aren't immune. Ronaldo was sentenced to 2 years for tax fraud but escaped jail by paying $21.6 million of fine. Lionel Messi, the GOAT, wasn't spared either. He was sentenced to 2 years for tax fraud, avoiding jail with a $2.2 million of fine. Which of these shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more stories like these.